We're going to talk about Jupiter. Mentioned on a question on my Patreon yesterday about it. I had no idea what was going on. But that's kind of the point of this video. Sometimes in cryptocurrency, you're in an ecosystem that will do something and crazy things will happen. This has happened before with other assets, and I'll go through it in a bit. And there's also in this video some potential airdrops that you need to be aware of in certain ecosystems where you may well be privileged enough to get a decent chunk or not. Who knows, right? Depending on how much clout you've got. Jupiter, it is essentially an advanced swap aggregate engine. It's a DEX essentially. And it has been released on Solana. And it's gone pretty much wild, but it gives me bull market vibes because this sort of stuff happens in bull markets where people use something, the demand is there, the price is high, interest is there, and people get money, right? It's just one of those things, right? But Solana is a very much a forefront of the space right now. And it hasn't broken for a while, which is really good to see. Just saying. So how did it work and what happened? So essentially, to qualify for the drop, you had to do certain things. Basically, utilize the exchange that they've got. And to use it, and you will be entitled to the token. Now, obviously, the token then becomes essentially an asset because people want to use it, hype's there, and it's worth more money. However, today, as you can see on the prices, it's down 62%, which is fine, but it is a 817 million markup coin. Current full dilution value is 6 billion. Poof. Came out of nowhere, right? Pretty crazy when you think about it. But this sort of thing hasn't just been a one-off. It's happened before. Going back in time here, Uniswap. I know, if you're new in the space, you're probably thinking, hey, Uniswap was the exact same on the 1st of September 2020. People got a lot of money. They set aside 150 million tokens to all users that interacted with the DEX before. Basically, you can claim 400 Uni tokens, right? Now, 400 Uni tokens at the time, when you go back in time and you look at this and you think to yourself, well, 400 tokens isn't really a lot when you look at Uniswap. But when you start doing the maths on it and you start looking at how much that 400 is worth, well, in today's current value, it's $2,389. When you go back in time and you look at where the price was, it went up to $43. So it's a decent chunk of money where you are getting literally for free, which is quite nice, right? It can change people's portfolios, and this is the sort of thing that happens all the time in crypto. Now, when we look at what Jupiter is, this is essentially it. Now, I've been talking about certain assets recently. I've been talking about Hydra DX and Polkadot. I've been talking about an upcoming launch on Rose called IlluminX. You've also got Uniswap. You've got other assets similar to this. This is where the market is going in the future, in my opinion, where we start seeing more and more decentralized elements and assets to the market, which is going to be quite good. Now, when we talk about this, obviously, yes, we have seen some huge amount of money here. Now, when I talk about it before, with Uniswap, they put aside 150 million tokens. This is put aside and distributed 700 million worth of tokens to 1 million wallets. That's a lot, right? However, I want to put a big, massive caveat into all this. Not all airdrops are like this, right? It's very much a random thing that does happen. Some are good, some are not, right? We've had other networks do well. Arb, for example, had a nice little airdrop not too long ago. But the hype is here for Jupiter, right? We've already seen it there, $1 million. I question that one. I question a lot of things. Now, obviously, certain things you've got to do some fact checking. I've not had the time to do that. But at the end of the day, though, it's creating wealth and it's creating more market capitalization for the coin, for the entire industry, sorry. But ultimately, what's happening here, it's creating interest. And interest is good for the start of the bull market. And I've said it before, look at the timing of the Uniswap one. 1st September. What happened to the 1st September? Well, the market started to tick up, creates wealth, and it creates opportunity. And if this is going to be a forefront of Solana, very, very interested. Now, before I said we're going to start looking at other airdrops, there's other things that are coming. I said it before. IlluminX is coming out on Rose, right? Talked about this before. It's going to be a privacy-enabled decentralized exchange utilizing, basically Sapphire is Ethereum virtual machine. you can get rewards for providing liquidity, bridging rows onto that ecosystem, right? You've also got websites that are dedicated to airdrops, but as I say, right, a lot of these are a bit dodgy. So be very, very careful. As I say, not everything does well. You've got to do certain things. Some of them are a bit, as I say, a bit dodgy. If you're connecting your wallet to a certain thing, if you're going to do it, use a burner wallet. And yeah, you may make some money here and there. But when you look at like the hot stuff, you know, you can see here, obviously mode, confirms, it's got a lot of stuff. You need to go and do your research, right? Obviously, we've had an airdrop for this one as well on certain platforms if you've been on it. But that being said, you've just got to be so careful, right? Don't just go, oh, look, airdrop's amazing. Obviously, yes, you can see that. Make a swap, you get some monies, right? Crazy, 40% of the total supply. The problem you got with airdrops, and we are seeing it right now, is the price will tank. And we've seen it with Jupiter. When we look at the price, it's absolutely melting right now. But that's just the way it is because people can sell. People can sell their rewards and off it goes. But the thing is, some people have a very much an obvious viewpoint of this in terms of, well, what if it does really well? Might do okay. It's like when you're in a pre-sale or a private sale. It's like when you get airdrops from everything else. If it is distributed to a lot of people, you don't know what people are going to do. So it's a careful element, right? Some people are criticizing certain things about this, which is fair enough, but everyone's different. What it has done is create demand. It's created people like me and other people talking about it, which is good, right? Other things to mention. If you're into the Polkadot ecosystem, there's potentially going to be an airdrop for dead. Polkadot is dead. We often talk about it. We often laugh about it. And this is going to be a pretty simple airdrop that's going to go to the ecosystem Polkadot. And as I said before, right, you've got multiple assets in the world here in cryptocurrency that have done airdrops before. Multiple things have. Some are good, some are bad, some are interesting, whatever. But to create demand, airdrops is one of the things to do it. As I said before, Uniswap. You've got potential ones in other ecosystems. There's also, and I've not mentioned this yet, there's going to be a meme coin on Rose. Rose is going to have its first ever meme coin. That, more than likely, will be an airdrop. Just the way it is. Anyways, hopefully, you've gained some value from this. Doesn't mean airdrops are bad. Doesn't mean that airdrops are good. But what I'm saying is, if you're in certain ecosystems, you may well find opportunity. Opportunity is where sometimes you may well be looking at certain things or you're using certain platforms and you are entitled to certain things. Like, for example, anyone who's on Solana and balls deep in Solana, I've got an airdrop to this. Likewise, if you're in Rose, you may well find Rose ecosystem airdrops for certain meme coins in the future, potentially. Likewise with Polkadot. You may well find that you are going to get a random airdrop of pink, dead, whatever else comes out for staking your Polkadot, utilizing certain dexes on Polkadot. You just don't know, right? This has happened before. We've seen it before. Huge. And I remember when this came out, it was pretty crazy. That is a lot of money when you think about it. That's like, all-time high levels, 7-8 grand. Crazy. Anyways, simple video. Don't get caught up in the hype. Don't go for every airdrop. Do your own research and make sure you are safe at every single turn. Because sometimes airdrops are disguised as phishing scams. Be mindful.